Hi, it's Kathy, and I am back with another edition of Tippin' on Tuesday. Today, I am going to show you how to make this beautiful Valentine's card using the Meant to Be stamp set from the New Occasions catalog. So let me get started. You'll be using the Meant to Be stamp set, and this is one of the new cling stamp sets, which has the new labels that are really sticky. I love it. I'm so happy with them. Just be careful when you're pulling them off of your blocks that you do not pull the label off. We'll also be using the Be Mine dies that coordinate. We'll be using this strip here. We'll also be using this little flower here, this little heart. I have some of these off to the side here, and then this heart as well. Now, the really cool thing with this heart is that it doesn't just cut a scalloped heart. It cuts it into two pieces. And these are the two pieces. This is actually part of the designer series paper that coordinates with it. That's called All My Love. And these rose flowers, those aren't flowers, those are hearts. Rose hearts can be cut out with this, and it ends up being two pieces. Now you can either kind of tape them back together on the back or use them separately, and we're actually going to just use this part. Actually, we're using both. We're going to use both of these parts. And then the designer series paper also has the coordinating little tiny heart, so we cut those out as well. For your paper, you're going to want a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of the mint macaron. You're going to want 2 Whisper White pieces that measure 4 inches by 5.25 inches. A piece of the lovely lipstick that measures 3.75 inches by 5 inches. A piece of the Flirty Flamingo background floral from the All My Love DSP, and that measures 3.75 by 1.5 inches. And for the inside, this piece measures 4 by 1 inch. Then a strip of mint macaron that measures 3.75 by 1/2 inch, and then you'll be cutting that down using this this die from the Be Mine. Be mindful, you'll notice this one is cut at an angle. Be mindful of how that it doesn't slip. Putting a piece of washi tape might be a good idea for this one. As far as ribbon goes, we're going to need a 5-inch piece of each of these 3 ribbons. This is the powder pink shimmer ribbon that measures 3/8 inches. This is the polka dot tulle that measures 5/8 inches wide. And this is the 1/8 inch gross grain in lovely lipstick. And so we need each of those. And then finally, you'll need some scrap pieces. And this is Flirty Flamingo. This one is lovely lipstick. And then these two are the mint macaron. And you want to cut the little floral die out of all of these 4. But before you do that, on 3 of them, you don't have to do it on one of the mint. You'll want to put a piece of the double-sided adhesive, and I'll show you why in a little bit when we're working with these. But you want to put that on before you cut them out. It'll make it much easier for you. So the first thing, we did this card in class, and starting for this little border right here, as it turned out in this card, it would be pretty easy to just stamp that. But I did want to show them how to work with the Stamparatus and have it set up so that they could get a line of something straight, and so straight across. So what I did was I created a little instruction sheet and told them to line up the cardstock at the right side at 5.5 inches, and then they're going to take lovely lipstick ink and our little stamp and ink it up and stamp it down. And then I tell them to slide all the way over to the left-hand side and stamp. Now, because of these little dots, I decided about 1/8 of an inch over is actually better than right up against the edge. And stamp. And then I tell them to slide all the way to the right, so the left side of my paper is at 3¼ And I'm just using the measurements up here on my my grid paper. And another little trick I did to help them with that is I marked little arrows. I don't know if you can see those up in there. I marked little arrows so that it helped them to line up on the grid paper. But that's just an easy way of getting a nice, clean, straight line on your cardstock. So we're going to take that. We're going to take this piece and we're going to take this little piece and put them together. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of change this because I've got this bad angle. And that's one of the nice things that we can do is kind of change things up and have it work out still. So what I'm going to do is actually turn it upside down and place it on the back here this way. Just like that. It looks like I need to trim just a little bit off. And then I'll place that at the bottom of the card. Obviously my paper got cut a little bit short. That's all right. And then I'm going to go ahead and place that on to one of the Whisper White. Just like that. Okay. And then that can actually go right onto my card. Just like that. So now let's work with these little flowers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the rose portions off of these two and place them onto these. And so I'll take my scissors, and for this large rose here, I need to trim off the leaf portions. Just like that. And then come up here and trim these off. And then for this flower, I'll do the same. And just take a few minutes to look at them, and you'll be able to tell which part of it you need for the flower and which part you can trim off. Trim that off. And then, so what you'll end up with is a little piece, the full rose, and then the little one of each of the two colors. And I've got a couple of those cut out here already in the Flirty Flamingo. And then on these two, you're going to go ahead and take that backing off, and all that extra that didn't come punched out will stay with that. And you're going to place this one here like that. And then this one on the other one. So they'll be opposites of each other, just like that. So the Flirty Flamingo one will now go up here on that one, and the Flirty Flamingo Rose will go on this one. And take your bone folder and just kind of press those down and make sure that that adhesive secures them to the mint macaron. Okay, so then I'm going to work with my two ribbons, the powder pink one and the polka dot. And I'm going to get some glue dots. And I'm going to put a glue dot about halfway and then fold that over like that. I'm going to do the same thing with the polka dot ribbon. Fold that one over. Then I'll take the polka dot one, the shimmer ribbon and pick up one and place it right on top of the tool. And then I'm going to take that and put one on the top here and put it to the back of my heart on the side here, just like that. I can then go back with my ribbon scissors and trim off at angles my ribbons at whatever length you want, just like that. Okay, and so we've got these. We need to get the first heart is going to go on our card using a little bit of liquid glue. Back side there. And this will go up here at an angle. Get some dimensionals and place this heart over to the side. Just like that. Then we're going to get two dimensionals and double them up, stack them, and bring in the little heart. And this is going to sit right here next to this other heart. So I'm going to just place those there next to it. And then place my heart on there. And then finally, I'm going to take the one that I do have some of the, the one without the double-sided, because you really need the liquid glue to grab a hold a little bit better. You might be able to try it. I just used liquid glue on this one. Let me pull these out real quick, because we don't have the backing to pull it for us. And this is actually only going to attach with just a little bit over here on this side. So I'm just going to run the glue along the one side here and place that just like that. And there's the front of our card. Now you'll notice this one is the opposite on the colors. And so that designer series paper has both colors, and you can do the opposing ones. So let's go ahead and decorate the inside of the card now. So I've got my piece here. I've got the Happy Valentine's Day from the Mint to Be stamp set and lovely lipstick ink. We're going to ink that up, stamp that right there. We're going to get that piece of designer series paper, attach that down here at the bottom. I'm going to run a little bead of the liquid glue. One of these days, I hope Stampin' Up! Offers an 1/8 inch double-sided tape. It would be really nice to have that narrower one. But until then, liquid glue works for attaching our ribbon. And then wrap around to the back, and here I'll just use my fast fuse, which I know is retired, but I love it. That's all I work with anymore. And we'll put those in. Bring our card in. And then that other flower that does have the backing on it. Will come and sit right here. And again, I'll take my bone folder and press and secure that down. And there is my Valentine's card, and I hope you enjoyed the tips for making this card.